Guess I did it, guys. As if that wasn't trash. Alright, next on the list I have a game called Ambre, or Ambre. Like Amber, like, but it's like Ambre, I don't know. Thanks. Thanks for ruining my ears. I ain't gonna cut it. What the fuck? What? Well, this is a cute art style already. Maybe this game's not gonna be so bad. English. It was 7 p.m. on that beautiful yet cold autumn day. The wind shook the frail trees, branches across the street. Tristan Mallory made his slow, tired way. A whirlwind of leaves caught his attention, and he stopped to contemplate them for a few minutes. A spray of colors danced around him. Fragments of red, oranges, yellow spread at random, forming a mosaic that stretched on as far as the eye could see, endlessly. That's like a double that was not necessary, but anyways. Oh, wait, nothing is happening. Let's fix that. There we go. Mobby. But yeah, it looks like it's a, text game. Coming back to his senses, the 30-year-old man shook his head. Now wasn't the time to be daydreaming. He had to go home. The long day weighed on his shoulders, but if he was honest with himself, work wasn't the most tiring thing in his life. Since honest, well-paid work was somewhat of a luxury these days, like any model employee, he consciously accomplished every task handed to him, and did no more or less than what was asked. Nor that what was destroying him was a completely different form of fatigue, an appalling and crushing solitude that had been shadowing him for years, ever since his wife. A wife what? Alright. The light tinkle on the front door opening brought him back to earth. He was already at his flat. A sad and mute living room sat waiting for him in a morbid silence. Goosebumps traveled down his spine as he entered the room. Driven by desperation, he didn't even take the time to hang his coat correctly, but began slamming all the doors one after another. That's all I imagine he's doing. Each time the same emptiness answered his pleas. He felt a rising dread within. His last hope was the last door and the forbidden room beyond. He opened it slightly and peeked inside. Of course, there was no one. He fell heavily onto the sofa. The crushing solitude came back in full force, crushing him again and again, wounding his face with invisible cuts. The cuts of time! It was happening again. All of a sudden, Tristan Mallory felt exhausted. Isn't that what he was already doing? Yeah, the last door, right? This is actually Devitt. His held his head in his hands and stared at the floor for long minutes. Then, after what felt like an eternity, he got to his feet. He moved together all the framed pictures that had been on the furniture and stowed them away in a closet. They needed to be out of sight. So why were they still there? Alright. When he was sure that there were no more pictures to put away, Tristan put his coat back on and went outside. A bit dark. It looks pretty great to me. Anyways. It was a bit dark, but there was still enough light to see. Alright. To see by. It was the ideal time to take a walk. At least that's what he would have thought. As he hurried along the sidewalk, the 30-year-old man was anything but relaxed. Nervously, he walked around what? Okay. While passing a park near his home, he heard a high-pitched, almost inaudible plea. His heart jumped, and he stopped. This is stock music, though. While passing a park near his home, he heard a high... Oh, wait, I already did that. In the light dim of a setting sun, he made out the silhouette of a little girl sitting on a swing with her head bowed. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Boo! Afraid of startling her, he made his way toward her slowly and looked at her. Her clothes were crumpled. She had neither coat nor scarf, and there were scratches on her hands and arms as if she'd been in a fight. The park was completely deserted, and she seemed to have been there for a while. For a second, Tristan Mallory felt the urge to leave her there, to whatever fate lay in store for her, but then he mentally chastised himself. He couldn't do that to a child. So he knelt in front of her and asked in a soft voice, "You wanna fuck?" No. Is something wrong? At first, the little girl seemed not to hear him. She choked on her sobs, and hiccuped and shuddered. Slowly, Tristan Mallory stroked her hair and repeated, "Wanna fuck?" No. Why are you crying? What happened? It took long minutes for her to calm down enough to speak, but eventually, with a faint voice interrupted by sobs, she wiped at her tears and answered him. "I don't know. I think I've lost something important, really important, but I can't remember what it was." Tristan Mallory sighed, feeling a mixture of compassion and pity. She seemed so lost, so vulnerable. He wanted to hold her so tightly, her sadness. Hold on. He wanted to hold her so tightly, her sadness, that her sadness melted away, and at the same time within him, a voice was telling him that he shouldn't be too forceful, he shouldn't take advantage of her weakness. So he tried to not lose face, to look reassuring, yet in front of the sad little girl, he did not feel self-confident at all. "Are you all alone?" "Well, Mommy and Daddy." "I don't know." "Do you live far away from here?" "I don't know." "What's your name?" "Ambre." "Well, Ambre, you can't stay here out in the wind or you're going to catch a cold. Why don't you... You don't want to get sick, do you?" "No, I hate being sick." "See, you've got to go warm yourself up. The night's getting close." "But I don't know where to go." "In that case, we've got going over to my place. It's not far from here, and it'll make a better place than sleeping on the swing." Ambre seemed very wary at first, but she had no other option but to follow him. She gently reached a hand to her for the first time. She lifted her eyes. They were washed out, blurry with tears and hesitant. She thought it would be a good idea, smiling face to appear to be a reassuring doll, even with the fatigue if they held her hand with the feet. Alright. The young girl's steps were wobbly and weak. She had probably not eaten all day. He held her hand, making sure she wouldn't trip. The 30-year-old man removed his coat and shut the door behind him. "Make yourself at home. I'll cook you something." Passing through the kitchen, he turned on the light in the living room so his flat would look less gloomy. While roaming through the fridge looking for a good meal, he stole several glances over the counter. Ambre was still walking around, a bit wild, still on the defensive. She explored this new environment by looking around, admiring the ornaments. She didn't find much to pique her interest. It was a bland house, almost too bland. There were no clues about the occupants' lives. Taking advantage of Tristan's being distracted by a pack of noodles, "You're getting home, going to the bathroom!" Oh my god. She found it quickly enough before returning to the hallway. Then she noticed all the doors were wide open except for one. She was drawn to that doorway even before she had time to think. Intrigued, Ambre felt magnetically attracted to the slightly open door. Just one peek was all she wanted, but she couldn't see anything through the crack. Was this Bluebeard's cabinet? Yes, it was Bluebeard, where he stole all his dead wives. Yes. The little girl pushed the door open, entered the room, and switched the light on. It was a bedroom with soft cushions with plushes. A big bed proudly thrown in a corner of the room was accompanied by a carpet dressing room. The walls were painted looked like a bright blue sky. Storage furniture coordinated with the sweet colors. The trinkets were overflowing with mysteries. On the nightstand, she could give cute mascot. There's so much reading. I need water. Hold on. Okay. There was a fairy-like ambience about the strange room, so that Ambre couldn't repress a little exclamation of surprise. Closing the door so that the 30-year-old wouldn't discover her hiding spot, she stretched out on a colorful bed, rolled into a ball, jumped about, and snuck under the bed sheets. For an inexplicable reason, she felt at ease in a room worthy of a princess. It seemed to have been built for her, to respond to her every fantasy. Oh my god. Then she noticed a big teddy bear which seemed to stare at her. Immediately, she grabbed it, hugged it, and covered it with kisses. Her pale face was illuminated by a wide, pure, innocent smile. A child's smile. Meanwhile, Tristan cooking noodles, about to serve the meal when you know the actions of the little girl. Slightly worried, he called for her. Ambre, Ambre, where are you? Never slipped in all the room. He looked for he searched everywhere in the house until there were only the entry door makes some noise when it's open. I would have heard if she had left. Could she be in there already? With what the fuck? With a core right sigh, he headed toward the forbidden room and found Ambre playing with the stuffed animals. With his gaze softened, I suppose that couldn't do anything. He thought to reassure himself. Without a word, he went to sit next to her. On the bed, little girl went to the stuffed animals while making them speak. In her weak voice, she was narrating a stuffed animal tea party and seemed to be enjoying herself. The light was back in her eyes. Oh my god, this is boring. Suddenly, she got mad at the plumed cow and scolded her harshly. It's dirty. Stop right now. You're making a mess. Allie, what did I just say? It's dirty. You've got to behave yourself. And don't roll on the floor. You shouldn't make a fuss just because you didn't get what you wanted. As punishment, she sent the cat in the corner, ordering her to not move before placing her with a pony with long eyelashes. The stuffed animal tea party hosted by the blue monkey was obviously not going as planned. The 30-year-old man eyed the little girl's every move with care. God, there's so much reading. He felt he had to speak. Are you having fun? Yeah, I didn't know there was a bedroom like this in your house. Whose room is it? It was my wife's favorite room before she left. What happened to her? It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you another time. Meanwhile, the meal is getting colder. Do you want to eat? Of course. What do we eat? Bologna sauce with pasta. Great, great. I love it. She wolfed down the food. Felt half amused, half distracted. Seeing her so happy soothed his heart a little, but at the same time, are you tired? The child asked suddenly with a serious air. A little. I worked hard today. She said nothing. Still amazed by the princess's room, she revived the topic with starry eyes. Do you like it? Yeah, a lot. I wish I had a similar room. If you want, I'll give it to you. Really? What the fuck are these eyes? My wife left a long time ago. Her stuff is still inside and I don't use it, so it's used. It's yours. Oh, I can go through the log. Okay. Alright. Anyways. That's actually pretty cool that I can just use the scroll wheel to go through all the previous text. That's actually a really useful feature. Anyways, you can stay in a room while I'm looking for your parents and what you lost. What do you say? Can I really? But it doesn't belong to me. And it's harder than a move without a house, isn't it? And my wife loves rooms, like on a class, great hands. We can do whatever I want. Love and work, hit the microwave, and I just go to school. Yay, no school. Wow, keep it around. Remember what she is, what she lost. Never to remember. Oh, hi, attorney. Thus began the strange routine. Just a matter of early morning, and the fog, and the door, sleeping Ambre, covered with dead leaves. What? Oh, he's in the street. Oh my god. I'm sure this is like a good story and all, but like I just don't have the fucking patience for this right now. So we're gonna move on to a different game. Because holy shit.